The Supreme Court, with its 9 justices, is the final authority on U.S. law and the Constitution. Their rulings shape the rights of every American and set binding precedents for all other courts. Sometimes, the justices are deeply divided, but on rare occasions, unanimous decision. A unanimous ruling sends a powerful message. The law on that issue is clear, even to judges with very different views. Recently, the court issued a unanimous decision about when police can take guns from someone considered dangerous. This case clarified how far police can go to protect public safety while respecting individual rights. Because all 9 justices agreed, the decision provides strong guidance for lawmakers, police, and citizens nationwide. It doesn't end the debate over gun laws, but it sets a clear standard for future cases. Unanimous decisions like this help settle long-standing legal arguments and provide a foundation for new policies. They show that even in a divided country, common ground can be found on critical issues. Understanding these rulings helps everyone know what to expect from the law. When the Supreme Court speaks with one voice, it shapes the national conversation. This recent decision highlights the ongoing challenge of balancing gun rights with public safety. It's a reminder that the court's role is not just legal, but deeply influential in American life. As debates continue, the clarity of a unanimous decision can guide both lawmakers and citizens. The search for consensus on tough issues remains vital to the country's future. New laws across the U.S. let police quickly remove guns from people in crisis. These are called red flag laws. They're designed for moments when someone poses an immediate danger to themselves or others. In the past, police needed a court order, which took time and left a dangerous gap. Now, officers can act on the spot, especially if someone is placed under an emergency mental health hold. The goal is to prevent tragedy before it happens, creating a cooling-off period for intervention. Supporters say these laws are targeted tools, not broad bans, focusing only on those showing clear warning signs. States like Nevada link gun removal directly to mental health evaluations, allowing swift action. These laws are spreading as communities seek new ways to prevent violence. They aim to balance urgent safety with respect for individual rights. Supporters of red flag laws see them as essential for public safety, especially when someone is in crisis. They argue that immediate action can prevent violence and save lives, while still allowing for a quick court review. Advocates emphasize that gun removal is temporary, and due process is built in. A judge soon decides if guns should be returned. Critics, however, worry these laws violate the Second Amendment and due process rights. They argue that taking guns without a court order treats people as guilty before proven otherwise. There's concern about abuse. False reports could lead to innocent people losing their firearms. Opponents say the standard for confiscation is too low, risking the rights of law-abiding citizens. The heart of the debate is balancing urgent safety with fair legal protections. Both sides agree on the need for safeguards, but disagree on where to draw the line. The controversy reflects deep divisions over gun rights and government power. The debate continues as more states consider adopting these laws. Mental health is central to the debate over gun confiscation laws. Federal law already bars those involuntarily committed to mental institutions from owning guns, but temporary crisis holds are different. States like Nevada link emergency mental health holds to immediate, temporary gun removal. The aim is to prevent violence during someone's most vulnerable moments, but this creates challenges. Some fear seeking help could mean losing their gun rights. Experts stress that most people with mental illness aren't violent, so laws must focus on clear, dangerous behavior, not just a diagnosis. The process must be fair, fast, and protect privacy. Clear standards are needed to avoid confusion and misuse. If laws are too broad or vague, they risk discouraging people from seeking help. The balance is delicate. Intervene in true crises, but don't stigmatize or punish those seeking treatment. The link between mental health and gun safety remains one of the most complex issues in the gun debate. Effective policy requires careful, specific rules and respect for individual rights. The challenge is to protect both public safety and personal freedom. If police take your gun under a red flag law, you can challenge it in court, but it's tough. Qualified immunity protects officers from lawsuits unless they violate a clearly established law. Since many gun confiscation laws are new, there aren't many precedents, making lawsuits difficult. Even if a court later disagrees with the police, officers are usually shielded from personal liability. Legal battles can be long and expensive, discouraging many from fighting confiscations. This reality makes it hard for gun owners to hold police accountable, even if they feel wronged. Qualified immunity has become a surprising flashpoint in the gun debate. It raises tough questions about accountability and citizens' rights. The Supreme Court has clarified the Second Amendment in recent years. In 2008, the court ruled in Heller that individuals have a right to own guns for self-defense at home. But the court also said this right isn't unlimited. Some restrictions are allowed. In 2022, the Bruin decision set a new standard: gun laws must align with historical traditions from the 1700s. Supporters of red flag laws argue there's a history of disarming dangerous individuals, making these laws constitutional. Opponents say there's no precedent for taking guns without a formal court hearing. They argue that modern red flag laws go beyond what history allows. The legal fight centers on whether these laws fit the Supreme Court's new historical test. The outcome will shape the future of gun regulation in America. The debate is now about history as much as rights. The gun debate isn't ending, but it's evolving. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision shows there's room for agreement on targeted specific laws. The trend is moving away from broad bans toward laws focused on individual behavior, like red flag laws. This shift could realign political alliances. Qualified immunity, for example, is now debated by both sides. Lawmakers must craft laws that survive court challenges and fit historical standards. Police need clear rules to enforce these laws fairly and safely. Gun owners remain vigilant about their rights, while public safety advocates push for more protections. The Supreme Court's ruling didn't end the debate. It defined the new battleground. The central challenge: balancing gun rights with the government's duty to protect citizens in crisis. The conversation will continue in courts, legislatures, and communities. Finding common ground is difficult, but essential. The future of gun policy depends on how well we strike that balance.